So this is officially the first paid review of the Strymon Big Sky MX. I know what you're thinking. Nobody pays for pedals anymore. Everybody is just given things by the company to make YouTube videos. Some of us do actually still pay for things. Some of us have jobs that are not doctors, lawyers, and dentists. Some of us have regular jobs. I have owned the original Big Sky for a few years, maybe 3 years now. I own many reverb pedals. 80% of the people, possibly more than 80% of the people who have the Big Sky, 85% will never need this. It does feel like a new era for Strymon. This pedal was designed by the company Moor, M-O-O-E-R, and the algorithms inside were made by Source Audio Ventures and Strymon. The difference between this and the original Big Sky, I think, is massive. It feels like two massively different companies made them. This is indeed more complex. It sounds smoother and more clear. However, you get the sense that all the reverbs die out quicker on this and are less audible, even maxed out. I love it. I think Pete Seeley is God. And I think even though there are 500 million Big Skies out there, this being invented, the MX, to me, makes the original Big Sky feel like the clone. When I purchased this, 10 minutes after I purchased it, I thought maybe for the next hour that I would have to sell my Big Sky, or that I would sell my Big Sky for this, of course, to recoup some of the cost. But then after watching every single video there is, maybe multiple times, I realized that original Big Sky is now such a classic. This is a future classic, but again, it's super complex in ways. Sonically, this makes the other Big Sky sound like an analog pedal. So everybody wants analog pedals. That should work out. This also is extremely reminiscent of fractal audio. Sounds in this pedal, to me, are almost indistinguishable from the FM3 and FM9. I have owned almost every high-end big box reverb, and in terms of clarity and control and just impressiveness on every aspect, the fractal is the best. After the fractal, the Ventris sounds almost indistinguishable from a Big Sky, yet extremely clear. The Ventris is also an incredible pedal. And in the event that you do hook the Ventris up to a computer even once, you will see that you have every control imaginable to create anything you want, your dream reverbs. The Ventris was also made by some heavy hitters in the reverb industry. That said, this indeed has the clarity of the Ventris, the clarity and smoothness of the Fractal. It does still sound more analog than the Fractal. The Fractal is as clean as something can sound. Like, it is so clean that it's almost psychoacoustic reverb in the Fractal. So again, this is incredible. It's sort of priced right, I think. I mean, that's what they're asking for it. I hope, I don't know what to say. I kind of think it's worth it. So I do think Pete Seeley is, again, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. One of the greatest minds in the audio industry of all time. I understand this pedal is also at least 50%, probably more, made by a new person at Strymon, the younger kid. You know, you can kind of tell that. Once again, the interface designed by the company Moore. It's pretty amazing. Everyone's talking about running 2 reverbs. You know, that's cool. I'm not going to say that's not cool. The C button is a massive issue that hopefully they fix that. Infinite doesn't even make sense most of the time. I'm someone who uses Infinite. It doesn't even make sense because it cuts off the reverb. And to make these 2 different reverbs that you can solo over, you have to go into global settings, I believe, and change this pedal mode. So it's not even per bank that you have the ability to infinite and play over the reverb. You can't, unless you set up in global that way. So it's a pretty big oversight. The loss of the C is a massive oversight. I don't understand why manufacturers don't understand that. The reason I use the Big Sky mostly, more than the Ventris or the UA Golden, is because it has 3 reverbs right on tap, and that's a big deal. The only reason I use the Big Sky over the Ventris probably is because of the 3 foot switchers. Same thing with the Golden. You know, I love the Big Sky. You know, I love this. This is super complex. But right when I started using it, I immediately thought this for 85% of the people would never even want this because of how sort of complex it really is in there. And like many people, when I got the Big Sky, I made 3 settings, custom settings, and that's all I've done with it. 3 custom settings basically for years. And the only time I've used the Big Sky beyond that was once I ordered this, and I went downstairs and thought, I'll see how the Big Sky really is. And I started playing all the different modes, and it was so incredible. So really, that pedal is such an incredible sound sculpture pedal. This is sort of like a digital version of the Big Sky, even though obviously these are all digital. This feels digital in every aspect of it. Those are sort of my first impressions. I had a lot to say, but Again, Pete Seeley is the man. The new intern made this pedal at least 50%, who knows, maybe 90%. This probably sounds exactly like the Mercury X, because it reminds me of the Mercury X in that you almost can't hear the reverb a lot of the time, which sort of is, to me, is not really a great thing, but I understand the reasons why, and perhaps something about processing power. The higher the sample rate, the more processing power, you can't have as long reverbs. Or something about the higher quality digital components makes the reverb more natural or higher resolution, which makes it less present, even if it's maxed out. And that is also something that was similar in Fractal. With Fractal, it was without a doubt the best reverb. The best. However, it was so clean. And even something like the Universal Audio Golden has a ton of character. Even at its cleanest, it feels thick, like the Eventide reverbs. At this point, reverb pedals are cork sniffing. You're cork sniffing the hardware at this point, as well as the algorithms, but definitely the hardware components, which do change the sound. So those are my initial impressions. Everyone talking about now you can have two reverbs. Again, 50% of the people seem to know that's how ridiculous that is. Sure, if you pre-program it and you put all the work into pre-programming dual reverbs, then it's useful. But most of the time what will happen is you'll choose a reverb, say a Hall, and you'll dial it in, and you'll love that reverb. You don't even think, I need a second reverb. So again, that's a cool option, but it's like having an infinite switch. It's not essential. That being said, Strymon is awesome. I have a ton of other pedals. It's definitely one of my favorites. The Volante as well is an incredible pedal. Compadre, incredible pedal. People are talking about the Timeline MX. Definitely will be sweet. It is definitely a bummer just how abruptly this cuts off when you switch reverbs. I understand why that is. And how it's nearly impossible to work around the physics of the electronics there, how much lanes you have. But it still kind of sucks that something this expensive, you turn off a reverb and it can't do something to feather it. Even if it had the shittiest delay algorithm, only just to feather one reverb into the other would be great. Sometimes I put a delay or a reverb at the end of my massive chains of pedals, just in the event that any pedal that does cut off is at least feathered. I have a lot to say, but I'm pretty tired. I have been playing this quite a bit today. It feels futuristic. It does feel like it's a weird thing, because in a way it feels cheaper. Like the design feels like a Mower Ocean Machine pedal, which I'm sure is a cool pedal. It is a cool pedal. But, I'm a Strymon man. So it does feel kind of cheaper somehow. This is not cool. This all in the line, that's not cool. You will never have the muscle memory with this, like you have with the timeline in the Big Sky where you can reach for a knob and you will always know what knob it is. This, you really think you're going to always know what, I don't even know what knob I'm touching and I can read it. That's how confusing this is. It is what it is. It's totally awesome. Very futuristic pedal. I'm glad they made this. Again, for me it was a no-brainer because I missed so many years of the Strymon Big Sky original timeline, because I only bought it recently as a Mercy pedal. You know, I had moved past that. I had the Ventress Fractals exceeded this Big Sky. However, I bought it. This, again, totally awesome. 85% of the people don't need this. And as I've seen all the message boards and people talking, and all of the other options people mention, these sort of third-party companies are probably 100% the right choice over this. Again, I am super thankful that this was created. I am gladly buy it. It's awesome. Again, I actually spent my own money on this. I don't even want to question the price, because if this is what they say it is, there's a reason for it. And yeah, those are my some initial impressions. I'll close this out by once again saying that Pete Seeley is God. He's an incredible guitar player. When that dude plays guitars, pedals get sold. And when he plays guitar into his pedals or touches the pedals, it's really the greatest thing about Strymon. And that's it. Pete Seeley. So, understandably, he's still in this pedal somewhere with the original algorithms. But, like the saying in science goes, you're standing on the shoulder of giants. And, to my knowledge, Pete is the giant behind this originally. So, yeah, here's the Big Sky Millennial Edition.